Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone. A word of welcome to the Coaching Corner. I want to share something with you as we get ready to get started today, and that is simply this. You can't get different results from doing the same thing you've always done in the same way you've always done it. I want to repeat that again. You can't get different results if you keep doing the same thing uh, in the same way that you've always done it and expecting a different result. It doesn't work that way. Many don't have the ability to self-reflect, look at where they've come from and what they have been doing, and recognize a pattern, recognize some missing steps, some missing strategies that they need to employ to be able to get the results they're looking for. I want to be clear. You may not want a different result, but you may not be getting the exact results you're looking for. And I want to challenge you right here at the beginning of our Coaching Corner to think back on the things you're doing that are netting you the results that you're currently getting. Think back on the things that you're doing, because those things that you're doing are getting you these results. It isn't happenstance. It isn't a byproduct of something random that the universe has done. They are quite literally a byproduct of you and what you have set yourself up to do. Your actions, methodical and intentional, systematic steps that you have been taking, they are getting you the results that you have been getting. And if they are not what you intend, it behooves you to be able to go back and assess what you've been doing, how you've been doing it, what results they have been getting you, how far off from where you want to be that you actually are, and what would help you to close that gap. What are the 3 things you can do to close that gap today? Many don't have the capacity internally to be able to make that assessment, to close that gap, to go back in reflection mode and see it clearly for themselves, because they believe that what they're doing is gold. I believe that what I'm doing is gold. Maybe that will help. It isn't us or them. It is a we. People generally do not recognize when they're in this cycle. Okay. I put out the thumbnail and the description in this way, and I got the results I was looking for. And so now I'm going to continue putting it out that way. Now, the last 30 videos have not gotten me the results of the first video when I cemented my process. But because I got that one result, and it is the result that I wanted, I now continue creating my videos and my thumbnails in these ways, because it gave it to me that other time. It must yield that result again this time. We're too close to it. We don't have the blessing or the opportunity of broad perspective. You can't see that what you actually put in place never got you the result. You attributed these actions to this result when it was something totally different that got you to where you wanted to be. Now you are in this cycle of doing this same thing over and over and over, wondering why it doesn't get you the same result. See, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. I am not referring to insanity. I'm referring to what every one of us falls victim to. You can't get different results if you keep doing the same things in the same ways you've always done them and expect a different result. It's very close, but I want to tell you that it's slightly different because you need another perspective. You need an immovable sounding board. You need someone who is vested in your success, but is not impressed with you such that they can tell you you're fouling up here. Let me just ask you this question. Why did you do this? You think this is actually... Sometimes it's just the question that is asked that allows for transformation to take place. Sometimes it's just the act or the practice of knowing I have someone who's going to talk to me on Tuesday at 6 p.m. for my coaching call, and they're going to ask me some questions that I will never ask myself. I want y'all to understand the awesome and ridiculous power of coaching, of having somebody who just that appointment on your calendar changes the dynamic of your week. We had our Workers Warehouse meeting this past Friday. We do that every first Friday of the month. And in that meeting, David Hunt, who's one of our moderators here on the channel, shared with me, I knew this Friday was coming. So I went back to my notes from the last monthly meetup, found the things that I know I needed to do, and I started to work on them. I want you to hear this, because I'm not trying to throw shade at David. I think more of us are in this realm than we care to be honest about. And we miss critical opportunities. We miss critical opportunities because we don't have anyone who we can be accountable to. We don't have anyone who's gonna ask us the questions at any regular interval. See, the last thing, then we're gonna get into our show today. We have a guest. When you don't have a coach and a regular meeting with said coach, I don't care if it's financial, if it's marriage, if it's being a good husband, if it's you're trying to get some real estate off of the ground. I don't care what it is. If you don't have someone who can regularly, at regular intervals, check you, then when somebody like me comes along at random and says, but why are you doing that? You feel attacked because you're not used to getting advice and constructive criticism in a vested relationship where you are being accountable. And I want to let you know right here at the beginning of our coaching corner today, those relationships, those spaces, when we cultivate them, that's where real transformation and growth takes place. My name is Kirk Nugent, and this is the Coaching Corner for this week, the first Wednesday in November. And I'm excited to have you here today. I hope that you're going to lock in. I hope that you are ready to type. I hope that you've come with your questions. I want to let you know that we do have a guest today, and we're going to dive into all of the things right after this. Okay. I'm super excited to be here today. And I see several of you are in the chat already chatting it up. Man, there are 7 of you on the live. There are 8 likes already. There's 1 heart. I want to say a word of welcome to every one of you, and I can't thank you enough for being with us today. Let me get some comments on screen. I see my guest has joined us already. I'm excited to have her. Let me get some comments on screen. Let's see what we got. Oh, Tracy's here with us. Says, hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us, Tracy. Tracy, we're excited you're here. She says, do what you always did. You will get what you always got. In other words, so true. I love it. Ibrahim is with us today. Thank you so much for being with us. He says, hey, Mr. Geek, long time, but I'm back. I'm glad you're back. We needed you. I missed your voice in the comments section. I love to see you guys greeting one another. Oh, Dr. Vibe is with us today. He says, greetings, family. Greetings to you as well. Thank you so much for being with us, sir. Always appreciate you. And I can see Tracy is greeting you in the chat. And I see, man, Darius O'Kane is with us. Says, good afternoon, fam. Good afternoon to you as well. Priscilla is with us. Hello, Kirk and the Workers Warehouse family. That's what the WW means, Workers Warehouse. Priscilla, Tracy says, what's up to Priscilla? Thank you guys so much for being with us today. We got a lot of stuff lined up and ready for you. It's going to be a packed hour, and I'm simply just going over to Facebook to make sure that this is actually working, and it is. So we are live on Facebook. So I don't see any of my comments from Facebook, but I just wanted to make sure that we are indeed live on there. So for my Facebook fam, I see that there are 3 of you watching. Thank you so much for being with us today. This is the Coaching Corner. This is a time where we can come away from the fight, right? The ref has rung the bell and you've stepped back into your corner. They've given you that little 3-legged stool that you can sit on and put your arms on the ropes and rest a while. Rest from the battle, rest from the hustle, rest from the things that you're trying to push forward, rest for the content entrepreneur from your videos, rest for a moment so that you can catch your breath, so that we can mop your head with a towel, so that somebody can rub your arms a little bit, so that somebody can give you a bottle of water, somebody can put something on that cut that you got over your eye from that right cross you took from the enemy this week. This is your time to sit and rest a while in the Coach's Corner. But the Coach's Corner is not just a space of comfort. The Coach's Corner is when the coach begins to whisper to you. You're telling on yourself when you set up for the uppercut. You're telling on yourself when you're going for that knockout blow. You're telegraphing your movement when you move your feet. You want to make sure that when he does this or when she does this, that you do this. The Coaching Corner is when you solidify and fine-tune your strategy. Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner is where you get a chance to innovate, take it to the next level. And weekly on Wednesdays at noon Central Time, that's the Lord's time zone. Weekly at Central Time noon is when we get a chance to come aside for a little bit. You ask your questions. Your questions are my agenda. And every other Wednesday, I try to have somebody that's going to come and sit in the hot seat. And we're going to take a look at some of their stuff. We're going to take a look at their profile, and we're going to take a look at what they've got going on. And we're going to give them insight, wisdom, perspective. We're going to give them that immovable sounding board that the Coaching Corner is intended to be. And if you want to sign up for your own session, there are going to be some QR codes that's on the screen, different parts of the show today. You can be able to scan to get your opportunity to be coached here in the Coaching Corner. I'm excited. We have a guest with us today. I see a couple other comments. Let me grab a couple of those, and then we're going to bring our guest on. Tracy says, I needed to stand back today. Took all day to edit a video that should have taken a couple of hours. Grr. I know that frustration. I know that. And that's what the Coaching Corner was created for. It was created for moments like those and for people like you. And I'm excited that you're here with us, Tracy. You're a integral part of our community. You are killing the game. We celebrate some of the milestones that you've recently been able to have in terms of subscriber count and views and video watch time. We celebrate that you've got another channel that's gonna be that you're growing, and you're gonna be able to pour into a community that you're growing there. We celebrate you, and I want to say to the others that are there, we celebrate you as well. My guy, Javen Cornelius says, incredible content. He's over on Facebook. I want to say thank you so much for coming through and hanging out with us. And for the rest of you on Facebook, y'all, listen, come on through and ask your questions. Drop something in the chat. We want to celebrate you as well. Let us know what you're working on. Now, I'm a content coach, but I want to share this with you. As a media pastor, there's not many subjects or topics that are off limits for me, okay? So if there's something that you're working on, something that you want to share that is a struggle, this is the space for it, and we're excited that you're here with us today. Now, as I mentioned before, we do have a guest, and I want to make sure that she gets the full half hour that she has signed up for. So I am going to bring her on screen, and we're going to do that right now. Okay. I'm waiting. I want to make sure I can hear you. I don't hear you yet. Now, is that me? Let me make sure. No, it says you're not muted in the system, but I don't hear you. Let me see. Why am I not hearing you? Is it okay? Interview guests? No, I'm not seeing any audio, sis. Let me see here. I don't know why it's not working. Just not getting your audio. Okay, do this. Okay, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Okay, so do this. Let's do this for you. So on your screen, you've got the big box and you have the small box. Give me a nod. Yep. And then underneath that small box, you got a little wheel. Yeah, hit that wheel, and then it should show you your camera and your microphone. I believe it should show you your microphone. And so if you find that a microphone, oh, I heard something. No, I don't. I heard like something just for a second there. And so when you check that microphone to see what it's set to. Okay, let's see here. 80 you guys on the live today. I see several questions and comments coming in. Next week, we'll be working on course design and filming. That's my challenges. Come on. I'm starring some of these comments while we get some things situated. Starring some of your comments while we get some things situated. Dr. Vibe Show says, I'm working on trying to understand eating. Now? Yes, I can.
Woo! We got action.
We got action. All right. So I'm excited to have you here with us today. This Camille Nash. Camille Nash is with us today, and I will share this for those in the audience who are watching today. Camille Nash is a multimedia relations executive, and she's got 2 shows on her channel, WOW, right, and the Bullpen. But then she also puts out content, Courageous Couch Conversations, Media, Ministry, Money, and the Marketplace. Did I get it? Did I get it all right? I think I got it all right. Okay. So she is sitting in the hot seat today, and she is going to, we're gonna kind of look at a couple of things for her channel, and we're gonna dissect some of those things, and we're gonna kind of see where we land on some of those things. And I'm excited. I'm excited about it. Are you?
I am. I'm here for the group. There's always somebody that has to take it for the team. I don't know about you all, but I was inspired hearing Pastor Kirk. I call him Pastor. Pastor Kirk really helped get us in gear. As you were talking about being in the corner, I can just imagine myself, shoulders being rubbed. Come on, let's go.
Come on. We got work to do.
It revitalized, and so I put on a little bit of red to let y'all know I'm in the hot seat for us all today.
There we go.
I've been in media a long time, and sometimes you can be in a space so long and you get stagnant. And so I
Mm.
thought, why not take the challenge? This is a challenge for me. I pick apart other people's content all the time. Not only do I do those things that Kirk mentioned, but I also give feedback concerning public relations, show your image and how people see you on the outside, and media relations and PR. So PR is how people see you on the outside, and media
Mm.
relations is how they see you internally. I
I
like
love
to
it.
say, because I'm a woman of faith, what's going on the inside will eventually show up on the outside.
Ooh, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Listen, well, listen, we're gonna dive right in. We're gonna dive
Okay.
right in, and I'm gonna focus my attention on YouTube. Although I know you are growing rapidly on Facebook as well, but I am going to focus my attention on YouTube. And let me just say right at the outset, somebody may be asking, well, why not look at both? Well, first of all, she's doing well on Facebook, so keep doing what you're doing. Second of all, Facebook, where video is concerned, where growing an audience is concerned, they keep on changing the rules. They have been wildly shifting what we know to be the landscape on Facebook. So it is a moving target. And
Yeah.
some may even say that several other platforms are like that, but YouTube is a platform that we can absolutely touch, taste. We can actually see some things there. So here is your channel. Oh, that's comments. That's not channel. That's comments.
Hey,
So let's go
David.
to.
Hey, David.
David is here. David is here. All right. So here is the channel. Here is the channel. And for somebody who's saying, hey, how do I get in the hot seat? You got a QR code right at the top of the screen right there that says scan for coaching. And everybody's available. Anybody can join in for a free coaching session. I want to say that. Everybody can get one free session live here with me. So I want to say that real quick. Now, first of all, kudos on the banner. The banner is high quality. It was done by someone, is what I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You
Yes,
had
not
that done.
not
It it
me.
sh- it shows your handles. The only thing that I would say is I would want to see those handles be the same across the different platforms. One of the best ways for people to know that it's you, and for people to know, I don't need to keep looking. I found is for it to be the same handle. So at Kirk R. Nugent, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, even though I don't have TikTok. You see what I'm saying?
I
Because
do.
I went and got my handle on the platform just in case. I went and got my handle on Threads
Okay.
and Vine. Even though I never use those platforms, I went and got my handle on those because I want to make sure that you take the guesswork out for your community. Man, I wonder what Camille Nash's handle is. Well, it's Camille Nash TV on YouTube. Let me check that
Mm-hmm.
on LinkedIn. Let me check that on Instagram. So if it's possible, see if you can kind of standardize on your handles, because that's one way that your audience will be able to know, okay, boom, this is where she is. Second thing, on that same concept, Camille Nash TV 2434. 2434, is that a unique? Is
I
that
don't know
unique
why.
to?
I don't know why I have that. That it seemingly they added that to it, but
Yeah,
I mean, if there's a way for me to modify it, I'll certainly do that.
yeah,
I
you
didn't
can.
know that there was. Okay.
You definitely can. And I would say Camille Nash TV is probably specific enough. But if
It
it
is.
isn't, then maybe adding like an underscore between Nash and TV or something like that. And then kind of, like I said, try to standardize on that on the other platforms if you're going to change it. But definitely drop the 2434 because it's extra numbers
Mm.
for, we don't need that. We don't need that. Here's the biggest question probably and I have a lot of other notes here, a lot, and I'll share these notes with you. But
Okay.
the biggest question I want to ask you is, who is this channel for? Now,
Mm.
even as you think about this, and I wanna make sure that those watching in the audience get a chance to hear this as well. Who is this channel for? Who is this channel for? And for you who are watching online, the point of when I land on your page, I should know within a few minutes who you're speaking to. Now, I know who you're speaking to because I know your audience and I've been on your show. And I don't need, so this is a rhetorical question. I know what it
Mhm.
is. But if I'm browsing your channel as someone who does not know, maybe I
Mhm.
saw a short, right, or a reel, and then I came to your page. Now I'm on your page. maybe I might be able to know just based on what I saw in the reel, but it needs to be crystal clear here that you're speaking to XYZ. So for you, just for your own, you know who you're speaking to. So just kind of state that real quick, and let's talk about some things to add.
Well, we know that because of what I do, I'm in the media industry. So obviously, I'm talking to people about their reputation management and media relations. Ultimately, that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to my channel includes those things, but I've created my channel as a space where I can talk media, ministry, and the marketplace. That's really
Media,
all.
you hit the nail on the head. If you could see my notes right now, you would see you would see that that is what I have here. Here we talk everything media, ministry, money, and the marketplace. We have courageous couch conversations on The Wail of a Woman and the Bullpen shows. That line is buried right here. It's here. It's in here.
Mhm.
It's here, but it's
Yeah.
not here. It needs
Uh,
to be
okay.
prominent, so that somebody who comes says, oh, okay, this is what she's. So you could put a little section in the banner that says, as seen on CNN, because you
Yeah.
have that in your background, as
Do.
seen on Camille Nash TV, as seen on da 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 da. But
Mm-hmm.
what's this channel about? This channel is about media, ministry, the marketplace. Then,
Mm-hmm.
actually, you said money as well. Media,
Yeah.
ministry, money, and the marketplace. Then we
Mm-hmm.
need to make sure that that sentiment, even if you just put those 4 words with a little, kind of how you have media advisor, executive producer, even if you put those, but it needs to be a little more prominent. If you put those there, then
Yeah.
that again will help for people to know this is what this is about. This is what this is about.
So
The answer. Go ahead.
can I ask a question? Would
Yeah.
you say that so like where I have Camille Nash TV, which is the name of the channel, but
Hmm.
also more about me, would you say that those pieces about me don't need to be there? Should they
Don't
be
need to.
more in the bio and only there what I'm talking about?
Yeah. See, and I'm glad you said that. Now, do you notice? So this says Camille Nash TV, right?
Mhm. Yes,
But this also says
Camille Nash
Camille Nash.
TV.
You only got a little bit of screen real estate. You
Oh,
want to
okay.
use. Don't duplicate. You got Camille Nash TV here. Don't put it here also. You might be able
Ah,
to put it as a smaller logo, but you've got it. You already have it here. So
okay.
since you already have it here, and it is your name, right?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
then here we can say media, money, ministry, marketplace.
Okay.
Let's have a courageous conversation, right? Because that says to me, okay, all right, I need marketplace. All right, I'm here. I want to have a courageous conversation. But you see, here, where's the invitation? Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know you. I'm not your friend, and I am selfish. This is what I always tell every coaching client. Think of
Yeah.
your audience as the most selfish person on the planet. Not because they are, but because people are inherently selfish. They want to know what's in it for me. And so you need to let them know that this is what's in it for you. You do need brand recognition, and you want to have credibility and street cred. So you definitely want to have something that says, hey, BT dubs, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. This is what I do, right?
Right.
But here's what we do in this particular space.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. Second opportunity is the welcome video. Now, I'm not going to run it through. I've listened to it a couple of times.
Okay.
It is a segment of, I think, a portion
Well,
of a show, it sounds like.
it is.
It needs to be a specific, you look at the camera and welcome people and let them know this is what this channel is about.
Okay.
Don't miss the opportunity. Now, one of the things I want to say, because many of the channels that I look at, they don't have a welcome video at all. And I want you to look at something here. Look how many views this video has.
Yeah.
11,157. You know why? Because this is the video that people see when they land on your page. This
Mm-hmm.
video has exponential opportunity for you to be able to do the consult sessions, have people come back, maybe subscribe, maybe they want to be on the show, maybe they want to get their brands into your content, maybe they want a brand deal, maybe they're, you see what I'm saying? Maybe they're a
Mm-hmm.
sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
This is the video that they will see, and you want to make sure you take full advantage of that. So in that video, you want to be talking to the potential subscriber. You want to be talking to the potential courageous conversation, the person who wants to look into media, ministry, money, and marketplace. You want to be talking to the sponsor and the person who may want to book you and have you come out to their platform or their podcast, or maybe speak on their stage, or have you come in and do a consult session for their entire executive team. You want to be thinking about those people when you create this. Now, this is the hard part, 90-second video. Now, when you create this 90-second video,
Yeah.
you did well. This is only 155, so you did well, but it should be about 90 seconds.
Okay.
Should be about 90 seconds. And if you're going to do a full 90 seconds, that means you got to have a lot of pattern interrupts. You got to make it fast paced. You got to hold people's attention.
Mm-hmm.
This is what that is a major opportunity. I'm glad you have the welcome video. And while I think it's a great video, and that's why it has 11,000 views, because it's a great video. It is a great video. And for many people who are starting out, I would say to them, if you don't have a welcome video, find a clip like you did and put it there. So this is the best way to do it. But if we're going to go to the next level, you need to
Right.
create a specific welcome video that will do exactly what you designed for it to do.
And on the same note, I've only been doing the show for a year, and so I really just got serious about it this
Okay,
past
cool.
year.
Oh,
And so
wow,
I'm
wow,
really
wow.
know what is to come. And you're right. I pulled that straight from a show so that I had something there, so that it wasn't
Perfect.
naked,
Yep.
and
And
also
that's
to
good.
grow my Facebook group. So
Okay,
it was
yeah, there you go.
purpose. Mm-hmm.
That is good. That is good. That is good. Here's another thing in terms of so we talked about the channel banner, we talked about the welcome video. The format of your homepage. So you have the For You section, you have shorts, and then we have past live streams, popular videos. So I don't see Bullpen, I don't see Whale of a Woman,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see And Another Thing. Now, you know I'm saying this because I have context. I know what your segments are. I know what your videos look like. But I'm saying these should be playlists right here
Okay.
on this main page.
Okay.
There should be a playlist for Bullpen. There should be a playlist for Another Thing. There should be playlists for Wow. There should be a playlist for your shorts.
Okay.
Those things really help. And so you have those generic playlists, maybe those three, right? Bullpen, Another Thing, Whale of a Woman. Those three would be good generic playlists, but I would suggest put those at the bottom. And you create some other playlists that will help people. So say you have a playlist for people who are just here because they are interested in marketplace or maybe branding or public relations, just some of the things. What does that playlist look like? What is the question that you're answering? How do you kind of put together your content in a way that allows somebody who's searching to be able to say, this playlist, okay, I can not just watch these videos, I can actually watch this playlist.
Right.
That's what playlists, think of playlists as a big video. So you also need to think about its title. You want to think about its description. And the videos you put in that playlist are kind of like a watch session that you're creating for your users. I'll give you an idea of this. It's not a direct it's not a direct one-to-one comparison, but it is idea list from Amazon, right? So here's an idea list with 10 items in it. In this idea list, I'm saying this is the essentials for high quality video podcasts up to 4 people. Then I go through all of the different pieces of gear that that are in this list. And I even talk about how to set it up. Optional setup, connect to both to a computer via capture card. And then I have the actual items that one would need to buy. My point with playlists is it's very similar to these idea lists. It's everything that I have for this particular topic is in this playlist, and how I name that playlist is what somebody will achieve when they're done watching that playlist. Okay. So you're just starting out with live streaming, and you're really just kind of getting your feet underneath you. Learn the basics in 5 videos. Boom, that's my playlist. Learn the basics of live streaming in 5 videos. Boom, that's a playlist. You see what I'm saying? Is that you still want to phrase it and title it in a way that allows people to say, yes, That's what I want. That's what I'm interested in. Let me sit down, almost like a course. This is
Mm.
this is the type of content that I want to look into.
Wow.
Let me look at my time. I want to make sure that I get. There's two more things I want to share with you, and then I'm gonna grab questions from you. I see several of you in the chat. You
You
guys
all help
are
me out. Come on, people, help
y'all
me out.
y'all in the chat. Y'all having a good time. Y'all having a good time in the chat. Let me see what we got. Let me just make sure I don't miss anybody. Hey, Ananea is on the live. Ananea is here. I see that Blue Wrench is here. Thank you so much. Priscilla says, "Yay, we have sound." Everyone was excited to be able to hear your voice, Camille. All right, we got Tracy still in the chat. Gary Jones, my guy Doc Jones, is on the live with us. Dr. Anthony T. Ladson, this guy has been killing the game. Y'all make sure y'all follow this guy's channel. He has been doing some serious work. He's been putting in the reps. We've been chatting offline, and I'm just so excited to see what is happening with you, and especially as now that you have kind of honed in on your purpose on YouTube, Dr. Anthony T. Ladson. So excited for you on that. Here is one of the last things I want to say. Let's
Just
see
say
here.
it.
I'm trying to pick between them because it's just too much for. Let's see here.
Thumbnails. Is it the
No.
thumbnail?
The thumbnails. Yes, there's some things that we could do with thumbnails, but here it is. I forgot. I'm glad I took some time. I would have said something totally different. Live. Here's my question to you.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the Bullpen a live show and not a podcast?
What? So, well, it is a live show, and it could be a podcast. You mean like why isn't it a podcast on YouTube, or you mean in general, like on Spotify and Apple and
Well,
all that?
I'm more speaking of the delivery format. It's just a check mark to be able to make it into a podcast on YouTube. But I'm saying
Oh,
you stream these live, right?
hmm, yeah.
Why not just publish them to YouTube and then have your okay? So let's take one step back.
Hmm.
Your community tab and your live streams are for community engagement.
Okay.
Your community tab and your live streams are for community engagement. Your community tab and your live streams are for community engagement. Now, if the
Okay.
only time you go live is when you have a guest, then it's very difficult to engage your live audience.
Okay. Okay.
You
Okay.
see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
I'm
So
tracking. I'm tracking.
rather than have a guest live stream, to put your guest, and you and I both know, so behind the curtain stuff, these are not even live anyway. Am I correct?
I was getting ready to say they're pre-recorded. Yeah, they're
There you go.
pre-recorded. Hmm.
So you're missing the cheat code of live because it's actually not live.
Right.
So
We talk.
rather
Hmm.
put these out as a full. I mean, you already have season 2, episode 10. This is a podcast. This is a podcast. So I would put these in a podcast playlist on YouTube and release them. Publish them, upload the video to YouTube and publish it at the time that you want to publish it, as opposed to streaming it, because that's gonna take some of the headache off. Because streaming it is a whole other burden.
It
Um,
is.
it
Mm-hmm.
is. I
Mm-hmm.
believe me. When I say I know, I know.
How you
And
know?
so, oh man. But then you can then begin to use your community tab and your live streams to engage the community. Hey, we've got a video coming up. Where we're going to be talking about listening hearts, and the guest is Dr. David Crenshaw.
Hmm.
What are some questions I'm gonna be interviewing him in the next 2 days. What are some questions you have for him?
I
So
got it.
now they share with you the questions. Then you have the interview. You post the video, post it. Now,
Mhm.
once the video is posted, you have a live stream to say to the community, okay, let's talk about what David said. You see? So now it's almost like, so the video becomes the subject matter that we're going to talk about during the live. But in live, it's engagement. it's live engagement, because that's the blessing and the enigma and the ridiculous, awesome, phenomenal power of live streaming is that it's a two-way street. I can talk. Tracy just commented right now, says, I'm still confused as to what a podcast is opposed to a regular video upload. We're going to touch on that, Tracy. But my point is, I can see her comment. I can star her comment. I can respond to her comment, because that's the blessing of live. So
Yeah.
let's use live for what it is, because you're going to see your live numbers go up, way up. You're also, you're also going to see your podcast numbers go up too. Why? Because if I'm going to show up to the live show where we're going to talk about what Dr. David had to say in his episode of the podcast, and I'm going to need to go and at least watch the podcast so I can show up to the live show. You see what I'm saying?
My God, my God.
So
I know where community gets it, because the live piece, I believe that many of us are apathetical to grab hold to it, because you said it in our conversation. When y'all see that when I interviewed him, you all go back and listen to that show.
Yeah, now y'all need to go ahead and look at this one right here.
About the digital storefront, about the live show being your digital storefront, but more importantly, the connection of the live in the community. I get it.
Boom. Yeah.
Yeah,
Boom.
and so the show is kind of a standalone subject matter, but the other pieces, the live and the community, are one. But then we're talking about what we found out of this other subject matter, either the podcast or the show itself.
So I want to show you a comment. This is what happens, and then I always say this to people, but they don't be hearing me. I want you to go ahead and read that comment, Camille.
There it is. Thank you, Camille, for being in the hot seat. I'm learning what I need to adjust. Right on. That's why I'm here. That's why I agreed.
That's why you agreed, and this is why I do this. This is exactly why I do this, because there's no. I want to say this to somebody who's out there saying to themselves, "Man, I really don't know what my next steps are, but I don't want to tell anybody." I've hit a brick wall. Like, I have 20, 30, 40,000 subscribers, and I'm not quite sure how I got there, but I don't really want to say that out loud. I want to say to that person right now, you are not alone. You're not alone. I can't tell you how many people who will see this particular episode with me and Camille on screen right now, and they're gonna DM me. I mean this, Camille. They will DM me and say, hey, I have no desire to be in the hot seat like Camille was, but now that I've seen you do that, I want you to be my coach, and here's my money. I'm telling you, they're like, I want nothing to do with being public like that. Like, no, I don't want that. But you just gave her solid gold, and now I need to know what you're gonna say about my channel. And I'm simply saying, you could actually come on here for free. Oh.
I just need at least 5 to commit to doing that. No, seriously, because now here's a moment of transparency for me. I've been in this industry a long time. Yet, as I shared with Kirk in our conversation, that I believe I know a lot, right? I know a lot, but I also know a lot of what's been. I'm not current, even though I think I am. I think I keep abreast. But the live piece of it is the piece that, even if you've been in media for 35 years, as I have, radio, television, print, all the aspects of it, you think you know what you don't know.
So
you
true.
Don't know that you need some help to do it.
Mercy. You have no clue that you need some help to do it. Okay, let me. I got 1 more minute, and I want to say one last thing to you. Okay, so we talked about the community tab, we talked about the live stream, and possibly taking the show itself and making it into a podcast. Here's what I want to do. Last thing. We're gonna go to videos. And I'm going to go to oldest, and so you have some. So this is a good practice to be able to kind of go back through and see the progression as you scroll down, because we went to the oldest. So you're watching the progression of your channel over time, and you're seeing what the thumbnails look like. If there's any synergy between them, are there one-offs? Like, this one is a great thumbnail, but it's a one-off. You see how it looks on the page? Oh, my bad. I just realized that I'm looking at this by myself. Okay, so we're back. We went to videos and we went to oldest. Okay, so this is YouTube giving you some cheat codes for those that are watching. Oldest. Now, just scroll through, because you're watching the progression of your channel. This likely is one of the first videos you put up. Now we're scrolling through. So in these, we didn't have thumbnails. A couple of these still don't, but we have thumbnail for this one. We got a couple thumbnails. Here's one that kind of stands out to me, but there's nothing else that matches it. Are you seeing what I'm saying? If you think
Mhm.
about your thumbnails, almost like an Instagram carousel, you want to have some synergy. When somebody looks at all your videos, you want to have some synergy between the different ones that are there. Does that make sense?
So the one that says God is going to make you laugh, that's the one that stands out.
It stands out. What I'm saying is it stands out because there's nothing else on the page that's purple.
Ah,
It
got it.
stands out because it doesn't necessarily match the others. Now, here's the last piece I want to say. Popular. So now I'm going to go to popular. So here we are at popular. Let's go to popular. And so, no. Let's go to live then and go to popular. Okay. Now here it is. Are you
Mm.
seeing the red numbers?
Yeah, I see those, but I don't know what that means. Does
That's
it
something
mean?
that I have as a coach. I
Oh,
have that as a coach. I have that gives me some information about the channel. What that is
okay.
telling me is how many views that video is getting.
Okay.
Do you realize that these videos that I'm showing you right now are still getting views?
You mean like right now people are still
Right?
going back and
Yes.
watching them?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
Financial abuse in marriage. Financial abuse in marriage. 28 views an hour.
That's the money part. That's the money show. Uh-huh. Wow.
Navigating meaningful relationships. You're getting 100. How I
Wow.
lost over 100 pounds. You're getting over 100. That's 11,000 views. That video is 2 years old.
Yeah.
You
Like
you
that's
you have
daily?
you have some opportunities here
Yeah.
because if you go in your analytics, you are going to see that these videos probably netted you a large chunk of your subscribers. And so
Mm,
what that means is, because see, this is a two-way street. YouTube is a two-way street. What that means is your subscribers saw this and said, I'm gonna subscribe because she's gonna show me how
what?
to deal with my
Uh,
weight.
mm, mm. Okay.
Your subscribers saw this and said, she's gonna show me how to deal with financial abuse in marriage, or just, you know, marriage and finances in general across the board.
And we did.
and and because I know that that's what she's going to do, I'm going to subscribe. Now every video, let's go back to latest. This is hurtful because this is what happens, but this is what happens for many of us. Every video that you drop that isn't in that vein, I, as a subscriber, generally people do not go and unsubscribe. I just want to say that to anybody that's out there that's listening. It's like, well, I
Okay.
got 15,000 subscribers, I only have 150 views on my last video. People don't unsubscribe. They just stop watching your channel, and then YouTube stops recommending your channel to them because when they do, they don't watch. So
Mm. Wow.
every video that you can literally dig a hole, because people, if your videos that are netting you the most subscribers are not the topic area that your channel is on, you're sending them in the other direction.
Mm.
So sometimes it may be good. I'm going to go back to popular. If your
Oop.
channel is not about these videos, get rid of them.
Mm.
Get rid of them. If your channel is not about these topics, get rid of them, because these videos will continue to allow you to be discovered. These videos will continue to net you subscribers, but if you're not going to teach them how to lose weight, you see what I'm saying?
So the weight, the money, and the relationships. I'm still talking relationships, but
You're still
um,
talking relationships, so that one you're probably good. The money one, you're probably still good on that as well, but you need to dig deeper on that topic and begin to put some follow-up stuff. And these are the things, when you do those follow-up videos, these are the things you want to put into those playlists, because it'll help people, boom, solve the marriage and finances and marriage problem. These are your 10 videos. Okay, now you have a playlist. And so you know that this particular video, because it has done well, because it's still netting you some views on a regular basis, you can string it towards this playlist of videos that's dealing with this similar thing.
wow, that's
But
shocking on the weight loss. That people are still watching that. Like I did that as a moment of transparency, and it was just me talking the
mhm.
whole video.
I I am gonna be listen, that is
The
what you
whole
just
video.
shared. What you just shared right there is the cheat code. It's moment of transparency is the catalyst for viral success every single time.
Yeah. Wow.
Every single time. And to be clear, the coaching corner is another moment of transparency. Every single one. Because for you, and I'm applauding you, but for you to be able to come and have this conversation with me open like this, it means a lot to those who are watching, but it also means a lot for you as well. There's a lot of people who maybe didn't know about your channel before, and they're gonna see this video and they're gonna be like, man, I want to follow her just to see what changes she makes along the way. How is she going to make
Mm-hmm.
this thing work for herself? That is a ultimate cheat code. Where are we at? Oh man, I'm over my time. Let me see if I can get a couple of comments here. You want to get a couple of comments? Here we go. Here we go. A couple of comments. I see. Okay. And then Inea says, "Hey, Camille Nash, thank you so much for being here today." So Tracy says some serious outliers there. See, and Tracy's been doing this for a while. So
Yeah.
she knows when I point out those popular videos, there are some opportunities in each
Mm-hmm.
one of those videos. There's opportunities. What your audience is telling you is, I want more. And I don't know if you've done this before, Camille, but go on those videos and take a look at your comment section. So there's a couple of comments on those videos as well, because the comment section is a treasure trove for knowing what to do next. Dr. Dwayne Wood is with us. Thank you so much for being with us today, Doc. Good friend of mine. He's here local in Huntsville, and somebody I need to have come on the show at some point. Would love to chop it up with you as well, Doc Wood. I would like to work out why my outliers are that way. I can't fathom what's different, so I can replicate it. Now, this comment from Tracy is solid gold.
Yeah.
This brings us back to what I was talking about earlier in the show, when I
Mm-hmm.
said you're doing the same thing in the same way, but it isn't necessarily insanity. What it is you're too close to it, so you can't see the bigger
Mm-hmm.
picture. This is where an immovable sounding board comes in. This is where having a second set of eyes to look at what you're doing. Listen, I want to be clear. I can't do what I'm doing for Camille for me.
Right. What?
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I cannot assess
Mm-hmm.
myself.
Mm-mm.
'Cause I'm always going to give myself grace. I'm always going to shade it in the positive light.
You
Okay?
can't see yourself in the
You
frame.
can't
You
see
can't see
yourself
yourself
in
in
the
the
frame.
frame.
You can't. So you gotta allow somebody else to shine that floodlight and ask the hard questions. Priscilla says, should we dig deeper on videos that have done well? Yeah, I would always do a post-mortem on the videos that have done well. Not necessarily because you're going to make your whole channel about those videos now, but you want to understand what the video and let me say this, even in the comment section, of a video that's doing well for me right now, like literally yesterday, I spent some time going back and forth in the comment section with several commenters saying, hey, what did you like about this video? I'm noticing that this video is performing a little bit different than some of the other videos on my channel. And the audience members, the people who have watched the video, these are not subscribers. These are people who found the video organically. They are telling me, oh yeah, you hit this, and that's exactly what I was looking for, and this particular part. And some of the stuff that they're saying is not what the video was even about. The video wasn't even about that. It was just a side thing that I mentioned as I was going through the main video. But now I have that information. And so, yes, should you do a deep dive? Yes, you absolutely should. Priscilla says, I'm following you now, Camille. I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I have asked the viewers too. LOL. Okay, see, she's doing the work. I've gone through them. I can't work it out. I have friends watching them too. Even the hook isn't great on them. Listen, we'll take a look at them together, Tracy, and we'll figure out what the secret sauce is. I wanted to touch on one other. Darius O'Kane says, I love the distinction between live versus scheduled premiere. I have
Mm-hmm.
clients that struggle with this concept. This is one of those things where you just have to understand the conversation, because it's a conversation. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So my definition of live is your live stream is a continuation of a conversation you started with your content. Let me say it again. Your
Mm,
live stream is the continuation of a conversation you started with your content.
okay.
So when you have a live stream but no content, you're starting the conversation in the middle.
Mm.
And now I'm showing up, but I don't know what we're talking about.
Okay.
I don't know. You see what I'm saying? It's like,
Mhm.
everybody's come to the barbecue and there was a conversation going and everybody's talking about it and you're just kind of like, oh snap, let me get a plate. What y'all talking about? What are we doing right now?
Yeah.
Starting a conversation in the middle is not, it's not a discovery place. It's not a community place. It's not a marketing place. And those are the three buckets for all of your content: discovery, community, marketing. Discovery means, hey, this is who I am. Thank you for coming. Yo, join the community, subscribe, join the mailing list. I'd love to help you in these ways. That's discovery. Community, you're already part, right? Look at this comment from Dwayne Wood. He says, hey, family. That's a comment. You see that little yellow dot beside him? That's because he's a member on the channel. That's community. There are things that I can say that Dwayne Wood would get that others will not get because he is a part of the community. When I do a live stream, it's very community focused, even though I still have a major component of discovery built in. That's your community piece. Your community tab, your community content is live. Then marketing. Marketing. The easiest and most simple part is, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time we have new content or when we go live. That's one piece of marketing. Or it can be, you know what, if this helped you, I have a course, a 7-module course that'll walk you through all of these different components in great detail, and you can do it at your own pace. And when you buy the course, you actually have access to me and a community. You see what I did? That's marketing.
That's marketing.
These are the 3 different buckets of content.
Yeah.
And so when you skip a piece, when somebody is confused and they're not certain, where am I? What's going on right now? That is not a space that you want them to be in. And you want to make sure you have that conversational, this is my wife here. She says, you're giving away gold. It's always good to have a spouse who's just always in my corner, man. Always in my corner. I love it. I feel 10 times taller anytime I see her comment because she knows me, right? She knows me better than anybody else. So when she says stuff like that, I'm like, look at God. But I just believe that if you are going to be serious about, now I'm not just speaking to Camille right now. I'm speaking to everybody that's under the sound of my voice, as they say in the church spaces. All 15 of you that are on the live, 18 likes, 1 heart. All right, that's probably from somebody on Facebook that we love it.
With the heart.
If you are listening to me now, Camille, you were saying you couldn't scan the QR code. There's a bigger one on the screen now. Hopefully this one is big enough for you to be able to scan it. But if you are listening and you have wanted to do something with content, you've wanted to figure out some of the framework that works, you've got to come up with a rock solid value proposition. I'm Kirk Nugent, and on this channel, I give you the step-by-step guides and practical tutorials for the do-it-yourself video creator that learns visually. In that one sentence, I'm telling you what this channel is about, what kind of content you're going to get, who that content is for. So if you're a person that wants to grow and engage an audience, funnel clients to your business, or establish yourself as a thought leader in a given space, this content is for you. You want to be able to say that thing even if you're on an elevator for 10 seconds. What's your YouTube channel about? You want to grow and engage your audience? You want to funnel clients? You want to go from busy and broke to peaceful and paid? You want to come check in with me? Oh, snap. I want to be peaceful and paid. Hey, hold the elevator. Can we talk? This is what it's. You want to have a rock solid value proposition, and you need to know one of the core pillars of a value proposition that works is that you know who your target audience is. You know who your target audience is. And when you know who your target audience is, you can speak to them because you know what their day looks like. You know what issues, struggles, stresses, and strife they went through. You know that they stayed up till 2 o'clock last night trying to follow this election. You know them. You know them. Sometimes even better than they know themselves. And because you know that, you can say things in your content that speak to who they are. Isn't necessarily what the video is about. It's how you relay. So when you're speaking to your child and when you're speaking to your colleague at work, you could be saying the same message, but you will say it differently because you know the person. Many people don't take the time to understand who their target audience is, and so their messaging is just superficial. It's just it's surface level. It doesn't go deeper. It doesn't allow the person to really experience transformation because you don't know who they are. Don't know what their issues are. You don't know what their struggles are. And one of the reasons why I constantly tell people your story is the ultimate cheat code to know who your audience is because your audience, generally speaking, is you.
Yeah, well, sure.
I'm done now. We're over time, but I want to just say, take a moment right here. I've got a couple of questions I need to touch on, but I want to take a moment right here to say a word of thanks to Camille. I hope that this was beneficial for you. I hope that what we were able to share give you some snippets in terms of some of the things that you can do. And maybe some of the things to look into. I see Dr. Vibe just put a comment. It's a great conversation. Thank you both for sharing. But I hope that some of the things that we shared are going to work for you. I'm here gathering those golden nuggets, Black Authentic Truth says. But one of the things I will also be sending you, because I have your email address, is my notes. I have a series of notes. One of the things that I want you to consider is why the whale? Now I love the whale, and I know why the whale. But if you're gonna continue using the whale, you want to make sure your audience knows exactly what the whale is about. Does that make sense? Uh-oh, I lost you. Yeah, I don't. Let me go back to. Was it the scene? No.
I went to mute for somehow.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Oh.
We got you back.
Yeah.
Got you back.
So I know you know why, and so that means that it's time. I'm going to drop the book coming up soon, but that was one of the questions that I was going to ask, and we can talk about it offline because that show, the Bullpen, is a spinoff of the Wheel of Woman, and the Wheel of Woman hints that's the weight loss. That's why the weight loss is there. So
I can see all of those pieces. I'm saying once you put it all together, see, because then so like if you were to do a membership community on your channel, one of the avatar icons would be the whale.
Yeah,
because your members will know what the whale is all about. And then there's some phrasing that you can, there's just so many different branding items that you can begin to work with, but you know why these pieces are there. It's just a matter of kind of putting them all together. So when you see my notes, it will make sense to you. Know that I'm not asking because I don't know. I'm asking because sometimes the question is what needs to be asked for us to know what the next step is.
And the other part of it I was listening to is that for me, because it's been a journey, it's been a 15-year journey to finally get to this place. So I believe in the philosophy of be the be, do, have. You have to be the person first in order to do the things that God has called you to do, in order to have all that God has promised. So I'm now walking in the habit.
I love it. I love it. I'm just looking at a couple of comments here that I put a star next to, and I was just trying to see if I can answer maybe one or two of them before we go. Next week, we'll be working on the course design. That was not the one. This one is the one. She said, I'm still confused as to what a podcast is as opposed to a regular video upload. Now,
that was going to be one of my questions. I know, but I didn't know about the one click to make it happen. So.
Oh, yeah. So let me go into the back end. Let's go in the back end of the channel.
Great question, Tracy. Great question.
Perfect. I'm gonna switch account because I want this to show other account. Okay, so here is we got to get back to the screen. Boom. So here's a channel. I'm gonna try and make this a little bit bigger. All right, boom. So this is a channel dashboard. So you have content, and for many, if you're just doing live, then your live streams are just going to show up in here. But when you have videos, you upload your videos and you schedule them to be released, right? So this one's going to be released on November 7th at 6:30 a.m. So that's what those are. But when you're editing your video, you can add them to a playlist. All right. So when I go into this video now, I can add this to the morning motivation playlist. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I'm under content, come on now. When I'm under content, I have playlists. And your playlist, when you create a playlist, right? You say create new playlist. You can add your title and description. Remember what I said before, your playlist should be kind of groups of videos that help to answer a particular thing, that help to get your viewer to a particular outcome. So you say, hey, solve your finances and marriage issues right here, and you have your description and you put your videos in that playlist. But in order to make a playlist a podcast, I don't have, my only playlist is a podcast. So maybe if let's make a switch here. So we go to content and we'll go to playlists. So if I go to one of these playlists, so here's one, learn StreamYard latest features. That would not be a podcast. Learn EV Mux. So here we go. If I click edit on this playlist, settings. Where's the option? Set as a podcast right there.
Okay.
Set as podcast. So existing playlists, you can actually change them to be a podcast. Now, what does that do? When you go to Google Music, I always type that wrong. YouTube Music, that's it. YouTube Music. Google Music is gone. When you go to Google Music and you search for your podcast, okay, here's Breathe Podcast. This is a podcast playlist on my channel, but it shows up as a podcast here in Google Music. Does it make sense, everybody?
It does. Does it change your views though on the video side of the house, or it doesn't matter?
It's combined.
It's combined. Okay.
For YouTube Music and YouTube, of course, video, they're both combined.
Connected. Okay.
They're both combined. So there's no difference in the two. And if I click this, I can choose whether to play it as video or I can play it as audio. So you have the ability to kind of do it that way as well.
Oh, that's huge.
I know I'm missing some comments now. Yeah, I know where to find them and I know about playlists. Yep. So I always add videos to playlists, but why call something a podcast rather than a video in a playlist as regular? I know what buttons to press. I just don't know what actually is a podcast versus a regular video. So podcast is a episodic set of content. Maybe it's just you talking. It wouldn't. A playlist is regular videos, but if you have a podcast, this is kind of like how Camille has episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, season 1, 2, 3. It is a episodic set of content that you are going to be putting out on a regular basis. It's almost like a show that has a particular set of value, particular target audience. Like for me, I have a podcast called Why I Go Live, and on that show, I ask people who live stream why they go live. And so those videos, I have them in a playlist, but they're also a podcast. But I have also a playlist where I'm just talking about new features for StreamYard. That's not episodic, and that's going to be videos at random. So I don't necessarily make that into a podcast. I keep that as a regular playlist. I hope that makes sense. I know. I'm trying to make sure I answer that as best I can. Yeah, I know where to find them. Okay, so Dr. Vibe. Kirk, StreamYard allows guests to broadcast a live stream to their channels. Does EV Mux allow this? No, not to my knowledge, they don't. To my knowledge, they don't. But I know that Restream does if you're looking for a platform that does that. So Restream does, but I know you were looking at EV Mux, Dr. Vibe. So EV Mux, I don't believe you have the ability to add the user's destinations unless the user gives you access to the destinations. StreamYard has I think it's called, I don't know, guest destinations or something like that. Restreams is called pairs. It's called pairs, and so you can send them the pairs link, and as long as they have Restream, they can add their destinations to yours. So you can do it that way. But no, unfortunately, they don't have that feature. Hey, it's my absolute pleasure to answer the questions. Tracy says, okay, so maybe stuff on my other channel podcast would make sense. Exactly. A podcast is, again, going to be this episodic, series of regular videos, but they're under one title and one banner. It's a show, essentially. It's a show. And you can have it in audio format, you can have it in video format. But when you designate something as a podcast in YouTube, it then shows up in Google Music as well. So,
Wow.
whew, I think we
Yes.
got there. We
Yes.
got there. Sis, I want to say again, one last time, thank you for coming through and hanging out with us today. It was amazing to have you with us. There's no better example than for somebody to see the whole process live. And so every time somebody comes, I'm just extremely grateful, because not everybody is willing to do that. And I just recognize that it is going to help a ton of people out there, just being able to see what you experienced today, or what we were able to talk about today based on your content and your channel.
Well, I do thank you. This has been a privilege and a pleasure to be with you, and I know that it's going to help many.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to close it out real quick here. Feel free to stay, or if you got to run, no worries. I'm going to close it out here in just a second. But again, this will not be the last time. We're looking forward to having you come through yet again.
Yes, sir. You know it.
Absolutely. Well, family, listen, that is what the Coaching Corner is all about. Today, one of the main things that I wanted to share with everybody is this concept of trying something different so that you can get different results. Being able to try something different so that you can get different results. It is its own best practice. And the truth is, we are all in a position where we may or may not be able to see objectively what we're doing, because we're too close to it, because we're too vested in it, because it means too much to us. It's too personal. It's our baby. It's our side hustle. It's something that we've been pouring into and growing for years and months. And so because we're in that space, being able to bring somebody alongside and say, hey, and I want to say this because I know several in the chat said, oh yeah, I definitely have people that check out my content from time to time to give me some feedback. That's nice. I have my family do that for me. Hey, check out this video. What do you think? Well, what about this? What about this? That's cool. But I want to say, they're not in the space. They're not in the authority space to be able to give you the type of feedback that you need so that you can get to the next level. So maybe that is that you have to get into a mastermind group with other creators who are larger than you, who are in the spaces that you would like to be. Maybe it is that you need to look into a dedicated coach, somebody who you can meet with on a month-to-month basis, or maybe every other month, maybe once a quarter, so they can assess. There's several churches now that have booked in to have regular once-a-month check-in sessions so that I can look at their live streams and look at their broadcasts and look at some of the things they're doing from a social media footprint, so that I can give them insight and perspective from an outsider's vantage point. And that will enable them to get over the hurdle and get to the next level. Once you identify what you want to do with content, once you identify what your end goal is, because let's be clear, nobody trying to be, YouTube famous. That's not. It's not a why. I don't want to be YouTube famous. I want to have impact. I want to help 1 million people harness the power of online video. That's a personal goal that I don't necessarily need to say out loud to anybody else. It's just something that is written on the wall above my camera. I want to help 1 million people harness the power of online video. So how do I do that? And once you have that rock solid why, it begins to inform what the value is. It begins to inform who you want to speak to. Purpose-driven content entrepreneurs. Whatever that looks like. And once I have those pieces in place, I now will seek out uncomfortable spaces so I can gain value. so I can learn, so I can grow, so that I can push past my known limits and meet the person that I am on the other side. Comfort, I said before, is where greatness goes to die. And my challenge to you as we close it out for today isn't necessarily, I know some of you is like, oh, he's going to ask us to get a coach. That's not all I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to willingly submit yourself to spaces that will hold you accountable, that will tell you the hard things and ask you the hard questions in whatever shape, form, or fashion that takes on, because you will be better for it. You'll be better for it. It's your boy, Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher. Thankful for your time and attention today. This is amazing. I'm already late for another meeting, and I can't tell you how much I enjoy this. I see several of you in the chat saying how much this was a great session. Here's one from Many Scenes GB says, this was a great session, Kirk. Lots of food for thought. Definitely one that I'm excited for others to go back and watch again. Because, oh, David Hunt, you're just coming through. Yes, you're late, but hopefully you can catch on the replay today. We had a lot of fun. But hopefully you're not only going to be able to see this and experience this for yourself. You can tag a friend. If you're on Facebook, you can share the link. If you're on YouTube, and you can make sure that somebody else in your circle is able to gain access to this value as well. Gain access to this value as well. I love seeing this. Oh, Day by Day. So Day by Day and I were exchanging comments. I wasn't sure if you were able to get in today, but I'm glad that you did, and I'm excited about that. Tracy, we got to give you the wrench. You've just been doing phenomenal today in terms of being one of my moderators, essentially a moderator, self-deputized moderator. I'm going to definitely make sure I work on getting you the wrench if that's something you're interested in doing. But I want to say as a final word, even though I've already given you like several final words, I want to say this. You cannot experience exponential growth, innovation, and transformation until you take the first step. The first step is going to look different from each person, from one person to the next. But that first step, you've got to identify what that is. It's going to be something slightly different or radically different than anything you've ever done before. But I am challenging you because your why is worth it. It's worth it. Because your why is worth it. I'm challenging you to get out of your comfort zone. Try something new and see what happens. Family, I'm going to catch you in the next session. Grace and peace.